Is FBC Firebreak worth our time? We're about to find out. Welcome everyone to episode 237 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, well, Tom, does FBC stand for Friendly Buddy Cuddles?
I thought it might be a chicken restaurant.
Oh.
Fire-baked chicken.
Ooh, there you go. Get the patent on that one, Tom. Firebreak chicken. Fire-baked chicken. All right. Well, anyway, we're not talking about Firebreak chicken. We're talking about FBC Firebreak, developed by Remedy Entertainment. And this game came out in June of 2025, multi-platform, PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. No Switch. Anyway.
It's not really the place for a first person. Well, I guess we'll get there.
We'll get there. But yeah, I play this on the PC. 17.46 gigabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
Tremendous savings on the Series S. 13.34 gigabytes. If only it could have been 13.37 gigabytes. Missed opportunity, boys.
Missed opportunity. Come on, Remedy. You guys are like the kings of like adding subtext to things and like little Easter eggs. So yeah, I agree. It's too bad. But Tom, what kind of game is this?
So I was a jerk.
Yeah.
And I wrote TB PVE FPS. Okay, you're gonna start with initials for this game name. I'm just gonna only give you initials for the type of game.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I think you have a point there. They should have spelled that out a little bit more. I guess there's a description for the game that tells you what the initials mean, but you know, that's fine. I put down first person co-op shooter.
Yeah. And for those at home, TB, team-based, PvE, player versus environment, FPS, first-person shooter.
There you go.
You string all those things together, you know exactly what kind of game this is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what about that game loop?
Use teamwork to complete objective to unlock the next area. And then I wrote in parentheses, kill dudes, fix things.
Yes. I just put simply complete objectives with your quote-unquote pals, because, well, we'll get into it. But before we get into that, let's get into our likes, Tom.
I wrote this, and I don't know how much I mean it later, but I wrote tutorial is quick, teaches you on the go.
Oh, okay.
So you are there's not a whole lot of tutorial here.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it does kind of assume that you know how to play a first person shooter.
Yeah.
So, but it does do a little kind of a brief, like hit this button to do the thing, hit that button to do that thing, which is how I prefer my tutorials to be. I don't like a page of text and then you got to remember that later. I like that it has like the objectives are kind of like in your face.
Yeah.
Like it gives you the waypoints and it says like, do this now. Like this is what you got to do.
Right.
And I think what ends up happening as a result is it is easy to kind of pick this up and just start playing.
Right.
There's not a lot of preamble. It just kind of gets right into the game.
Yeah. I mean, the UI is very minimalist. You're literally like dropped right in. There's nothing else. Like I would even say that the game loads pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Overall, like so. even just starting up the game, like I feel like even with like Lost in Random, it just took a little while to like even start the game on my computer. Like this was like boom, it was already like doing the little logos for the companies that they were using, etc. But yeah, I was right into the game fairly quickly. This game is a pretty unique take on like the co-op team-based shooter, or maybe not, I don't know. But it is up to 3 people, and each person could play as a separate class. There's 3 classes in this game: splash team, jump kit team, and then jump person, and then the repair person. And so each of them have a separate abilities. And what I thought was interesting is like if you all play the same type, you can do that, but it doesn't mean that the game is like locked out. Like you're completely screwed. Like you could still play. All you guys play as the same like character or class, and you could still complete objectives. It just helps if everyone plays as that unique class because of like how they kind of collaborate with each other, right? Like one example was like I played as like the shock guy, the jump kit class, and we had the other class, the splash class, which shoots like these big globs of water. And if you drench your enemies with water, I can then go and shock all of them, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, like that kind of, the synergy with the abilities, which I thought was really cool. Games need to do more of that, especially with cooperative games. That's really cool. Yeah. So like those are things that I picked up. What else you got there, Tom?
Yeah, so each of the loadouts, and Chris was kind of talking about this, changes what you can do fastest. So, and what it means is, let's say there's a valve that needs fixing. If you are, that fixer class, you have a wrench and you just attack it with the wrench and that fixes it.
Yep.
But if you are not the fixer class, it creates this kind of like mini game thing where you have to hit LBRB and you have to hit them in like the, in the right pattern and do it kind of fast. And I liked that it creates this kind of like really like twitchy mini game if you don't have the tool, and if you do have the tool, it's just a simple like swing your wrench or hit it with water. You pat out the flames with your hands if you don't have the water gun. So I like that it does. Like the kit changes what you do fastest, but doesn't prevent you from doing all the things. And it kind of creates, as you were saying, this focus on being fast and efficient with your team.
Right.
Like know your role, if get in there, underneath the spinning fans and hit the thing with the wrench while the other guy works on the power,
Yeah, I agree. And, especially with the mini game on the mouse and keyboard, it is Q and E you have to toggle with. And, there's definitely tension that gets built up, especially if you have to do that mini game and then you have the enemies, the hiss that come after you. It is just cannon fodder that you generally have to deal with, but then you have every once in a while like the big enemy that you have to take out. And I feel like the objectives were fairly like there was like variations on it. But we've only played the first hour, so maybe does it get different? Like there are different missions from I can see, but we'll talk about that but a little bit later. But and I will also say even getting to, well, actually, you know what? If you got anything else you want to talk to, I will end with dislike that rolls into a dislike. So go ahead.
I think I would just echo your sentiment that I did like that there were different objectives. But it felt, kind of gave me like the Left 4 Dead vibes. Like there was a time when like this genre didn't really exist.
Yeah.
And it does kind of harken on some level, it does kind of harken back to those early days of it where it did to me feel a little fresh in that way.
Right.
I don't know exactly how to put my finger on it. Maybe because it is kind of dumb and funny in some places. Like destroy all the Post-it notes. Okay. Like,
it's square. I mean, because again, we didn't really touch on this game is in the Control. I guess Control and Alan Wake are all the same universe.
You say so.
I don't know. Anyway, so it's all that stuff that happens. It's quirky. It's got that Remedy spin to it, and it is a pretty game. It's a pretty looking game, I would say.
It looks pretty good.
Control was a gorgeous looking game. It was pretty good too. And they've always focused on single player experiences, so this was interesting that they tried something a little different.
Yeah, good for them.
So I will end off then with I will say quick play does seem fast to get people connected. It might also just be because it's at the time of this recording fairly new, and I was able to queue up pretty quickly. However, and I will roll into my dislikes here. Most of the time, my party would disband, or I even got kicked from my parties.
Wow.
Yeah. A couple of times I was like, dude, I'm just trying to play the game. I'm probably trying to play it in normal. I'm still trying to figure it out. And I will touch on the fact that you said the tutorial is quick. My tutorial was broken. It never worked. So like it would have that kind of like overlay on top of like, and it's like about as if it was going to start the tutorial, but it just never did. And I was like, okay. So I was literally going in blind to these quick plays, and I was like, all right, I don't know. I didn't know the range of the jump kit. So I was just trying to figure out like, okay, how close do I need to get to people to get shocked? And you need to be like right in their faces. So that was unfortunate.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems this game has is that it's really kind of too frantic a game for a learning environment.
Yeah.
Right? Like it really needs a level or something where you just play it solo for like 5-10 minutes.
Right.
And you're not being attacked by enemies or anything. And it's just like, this is how you do this thing.
Yeah.
This is how you do that thing. This
Like-
is how you do this thing. And then now we have enemies, and then, okay. And then you finish that, and then it dumps you into multiplayer.
Right.
Like, it does itself a disservice by not having any kind of offline, like how you like instructional piece.
I mean, I would just say it lends itself to a really cool tutorial because you're part of this organization. It's like you could just be your orientation, right? You could just go through the orientation of this particular class, and they just, walk you through a couple of corridors, do the thing that you need to do, and then move on. But yeah, you're just kind of like thrown in, and you have to figure it out, and it gets frustrating. And like, I can understand for people that are playing, that are like the tryhards, where they get frustrated because you're not good enough, and then they just kick you or like whatever. And it's like, but we all had to start somewhere, so don't be a jerk, people. So
yeah.
I will say I was also surprised there's no, at least from my experience, there was no voice chat, not even like text chat, but there is a ping system that kind of works. It worked okay, but yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, I guess for nowadays, like modern people have Discord or something to connect with, but I don't know, it was kind of weird, I kind of say.
Yeah, I'll agree with you that I was playing with some other people, and they were trying to use their body language or trying to give me instruction.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand a lot of times their instructions. Sometimes I didn't understand where the markers were. Like, it's giving you a marker, like to an objective, like go over here and do the thing. But like my pathfinding to find where that is, sometimes I was having a tough time with it. You mentioned that you got into the game pretty quick, but honestly, my matchmaking like never started.
Really?
Now, fortunately, there is a button to just kind of start single player, and then it'll add people as, when they're ready. And so I did that, and that worked out all fine. But it felt, maybe because I'm new, like the jobs felt like long. And I think it's probably just because I suck, right? Like, but like I really only finished one of these missions in an hour. And then like I was, I started a second one, but I didn't finish it in the hour. And so I put down, you can't really play a quick round, at least not initially.
Yeah.
I think if you're with a group of people and they're good, the round probably is pretty quick.
Yeah.
But if you're learning the game, it isn't quick.
A lot of fumbling for sure. Like, even I was trying to figure out how to do a repair. I didn't realize you could, but I only learned a little bit later that anyone can go and do the repairs on the particular items and whatever. And it was just, a lot of just like kind of going through the dark and waving your hands around and hoping that something works. Yeah. And so I know the game has the suffix of Firebreak. There is a lot of fire that you have to deal with, and that is basically the biggest enemy in the game, I would say, because like you're trying to put out all this heat. It's some sort of underground area for this organization, and that's fine. But like I felt like I was getting caught on fire like randomly. And I was like, but I wasn't even near anything that was on fire. So it was weird, and it got me frustrated because like even when people were trying to help you, they would get caught on fire. And like that was like, I mean, and I get it. I get fire does spread and all that other stuff. But it was just like, so you had this like loop of like, people eventually just don't help you because if they try to help you, they're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And that was, kind of a frustrating experience for sure.
Yeah, you got to drag yourself to the shower and rinse off.
But that's the thing, you can't even do that. Like you can't, like, most of the time when you're down in other games, you can move your body around.
Yeah, it's true.
And drag yourself over to things, but you couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
So that was,
you do have the option to respawn.
That's true. Yeah.
But but the game didn't really like tell me if that was a bad idea.
Right.
Like a lot of times you have a limited number of guys, and you got to be, play carefully with that. But unfortunately, it wasn't really explained in the.
Well, yeah, and actually, you do actually have a limited number of lives, team lives in total. I found that out near my second to last playthrough of the game, where I was like, what is this number that just keeps showing up? And it was like it just kept going down. I'm like, are we doing bad? Like, and then eventually you have some guy that's like in your comms that says like a non-player character that says, we can't get any more reinforcements. Sorry, you have to wait. And then kind of like Helldivers, where if you lose all your lives, then there's a cooldown to get an extra life, so to speak. So that was that. And I felt like this game was pretty buggy. There's certain times where just things weren't working. Like to your I ended up behind this wall or something, and I was repairing the fan, and I was trying to get out, but then I got stuck. So like it didn't. I feel like they didn't give you enough time to just run out of there.
Yeah.
And the fan just started going, and I was like, I can't get out, so I had to die.
I got one of those too, where I got caught inside the fans.
Frustrating. Anything else here you wanted to talk about?
You have to scroll through this really, really long EULA to start the game, and doing that on a controller is stupid and lame. It always is. It's like, nobody's gonna read this. Why do I need to hold down on the stick for like a minute?
Right. Use the triggers.
I don't think that was a thing.
No, I'm saying like let them use the triggers instead of the stick.
Yeah, like, or if I had a mouse, it would have been easy. But it wasn't. And then I had to do more than one of them. So not pleasant. And I mean, I think it's obvious at this point, but this is clearly a game that's meant to be played online with the microphone and with communication with the other players. And that just isn't my bag. So
oh dang. All right. I guess we've already spoilered anyway.
No.
But yeah, I agree. Like you definitely need to play with folks that are not going to be griefers and like just be jerks about things.
And you can set up a private, like if you know what I mean, if you and I and one of our buds wants to do this as a 3-man, like we totally could.
Yeah.
You can set a password on it and we could all be on Discord. Like the game enables that for sure.
Right.
And it's clear that that's how it's meant to be played.
Yeah.
For some people, I assume that would fall in the like column. For me, that falls in the dislike column. But there it is.
Yeah, and there is some sort of Twitch integration as well. I didn't turn it on, but I see that there's a possibility. I don't know what that does. I guess it could be kind of cool if like your listener viewers or whatever can help. Maybe not so much as harm, but like there's that possibility, which could be cool. I don't know. I didn't try it. But yeah, and then that's I guess our dislikes is what I got so far. So I guess let's roll into our other thoughts here.
Sure.
How long to beat says this game takes between 2 and 10 hours to complete.
2 if you're good, 10 if you're us.
Yeah, exactly. This does have cross-platform play, which I think is pretty cool. Across not just the PC and Xbox, but also PlayStation as well. So good on them, Remedy, for doing that. This does have Xbox Play Anywhere and xCloud capable. And Tom, this is actually the first time I've seen this on the Xbox app on the PC. It does say it has console mouse and keyboard support.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, like you said, if you you wished that you could use a mouse and keyboard on the Xbox for this game, again.
That is for when I am going to play a first-person shooter. That's how I want to play it, and I think that's just how I was raised. You couldn't play first-person shooters on consoles when Chris and I were children.
No.
So it was,
sorry.
We had to learn how to play with. I mean, really, just with the keyboard when we were first playing first-person games. But ultimately with the mouse as well.
What you got, Tom?
So we've talked about it quite a bit. These are the same developers who brought us Max Payne, Alan Wake, and Control. The game is set 6 years after the events of Control. It's the first multiplayer game and their first self-published game.
Oh, okay.
I guess as a promise to their fans and the players, the objective was to make a game that was easy to pick up and play, does not require daily check-ins. There are no battle passes. There are no elements of, FOMO, of fear of missing out, to try to retain you as a player. So their objective is, we made a fast, fun game, and you will play it because you like playing it, not because you need to check in on Mondays to get the XY thing. It's not and now you need to give us $10 more to get, DLC dripped out at you. All of the post-launch content is free.
Oh, cool. So. Good on Remedy for doing that.
Yeah. I think it seems to me like a lot of this may be not dissimilar from the Lost in Random that we played, the testing ground of mechanics and balance and that sort of thing for future games.
Yeah, I think this is actually their first-person shooter game too. Because all the other ones were third-person shooters or whatever, right? Like, so that's cool. No bullet time, just a shame. Maybe one day. All right. So, Tom, we now need to find out, are we keeping this game on our respective hard drives, or are we tossing it into the fan that we can never get out of?
Shredded to pieces, right?
Yes.
Like a Post-it note caught in a fan.
Yes.
Well, I'll say my hour did go by very quickly, which is traditionally a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not my cup of tea. This is just too reliant on teamwork, too reliant on chatting with other people while you're playing, and that's just not me. I do think it would be fun to play with friends.
Yeah.
Like if you and I and one other could, I think that would be fun, but I just realistically, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, that is true. The second time, I feel like I'm echoing your sentiment here. Look, I would really like to try this with friends, like with you, Tom, or whoever else. I was definitely frustrated with the fact that like I was just constantly getting booted or constantly like not getting into the game because of whatever. Hopefully they iron things out. Hopefully they make this game a little bit more playable, more iron out all those bugs that were happening to me. But until then, I'm probably going to pass it.
Yeah, this might be a good opportunity it might be a wait and see, where
agreed.
It is pretty fresh off the press. And if they could add like just a short tutorial single player thing, if they could nail down some of the bugs that you experienced, if they could just make it a little bit more approachable to Joe player, I think it would file off a lot of the rough edges here, and it would make it a much more fun experience and something I'd be willing to try again.
All right. So those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Blue Sky at 1H1D, on Twitter and Threads at TC1H1D. Shoot us an email at tc1h1d@gmail.com, or check out our next streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D. And hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, you could also check out some of our other episodes that are there. There's quite a few. Or send us a comment down below and say, why does this game need to be part of the Control universe? I don't know. Remedy does their thing. So that'd be cool. All right, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. 1H1D is part of the QTB network, and if you like any great gaming content, please check it all out. quitthebuild.com/network. Now,
well executed.
Thank you. Now we need to execute finding out what we're playing next with the surprising button.
I was really hoping you were going to say Order 66.
Well, no, there's no Jedi children around here. So anyway, here we go. Okay. Tempopo.
That sounds made up.
I mean, it is, as most of these games are made up, Tom. Spoiler.
I suppose that's fair.
Yes, so Tempopo will be our next episode. Until then, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.